Hello, Old Brooklyn and Greater Cleveland. Councilman Chris Harsh. The other day, it came up in the news that City Council had increased our monthly allocation from $1,200 to $2,500, which is the first time we've done this since the 1980s. And I think some people ask questions about what we spend that money on, which is a good question. So for Valentine's Day, I'm giving you something we all love, which is transparency in government. So let's talk about where I spend money. Yay, here it is. So 1,200 times 12 is 14.4. This is where it goes. This is my office, Ward 4. So half of it goes to my executive assistant and rent. If you know Cindy, if you've ever called my office or emailed me, you know that she takes care of a lot of work for us. She's been with the city for well over a decade, but the way that city council is structured on the employee side is that we can't actually give raises for experience. We have to take it out of our monthly expenses. So I give her the money that she's due, and I wish I could give her more, and she's worth every penny. The city charges me rent. I don't actually get that office at Estherbrook for free. So the city council has to send money to the administration to pay for that. So that covers actually, those two expenses are half of the monthly allocations that I get over the course of a year. The big one after that is community events. So 32.5% of the money that I allocate goes for events that you might be familiar with. Pedal for Prizes, Old Brooklyn Area Little League, Ben Franklin Gardens, who has a music event. Garden Walk, I like gardens a lot. Art Walk, because I also like walking. The Dominican Festival, and the Night Fair. I will point out with the Dominican Festival that I give the Puerto Rican Festival money separately from a different funding mechanism, but they're a younger festival. I think they're in their second or third year, and they're just getting off the ground up at Estherbrook, so I give them some money out of my monthly ward allocation. But all of these are open to the entire public. Anybody can go to these. And if you're wondering about Little League, if you're ever having a rough Saturday, I encourage you to go down to Low Park and watch some 6-year-olds play T-ball. It will warm your heart, and you'll feel happier because of it. So all of these events are free, open to everybody in the neighborhood, and anybody can go. So I'm happy to support them financially. This next chunk here, the 7.5%, is for housing-related stuff. So Metro West, the CDC to the north, they have a guy there that does some really tough jobs for me in Old Brooklyn, and they help out with some of the issues that some of our neighbors have that they need a hand on, and I help them out because of it. VAPAC does a lot of housing research. Most of the information I get about housing trends and how to orient myself into what's going on out there in the markets comes from them. And then Habitat for Humanity is doing some really, really critical work in the city of Cleveland to figure out how to install modular housing. They're also doing 3 rehabs in the neighborhood, and they help low-income families. They help low-income families get into housing, so I'm happy to help them as well. That's about 7.5%. 4% of the money goes to city employees and their efforts. So the police, the fire, and the teachers hold annual events where they raise funds for different things that they do out in the neighborhoods. But I support those efforts. That's about 4%. And then this 2% category, I think, is the one that everybody's afraid of. This is what I'm going to call work expenses. I spent money on 2 primary work expenses last year. One was the Holiday Inn. I did get a hotel. I went to Louisville, Kentucky to look at a factory. I drove my own car, and I did not charge for mileage. I did not charge for gas. I bought my own food. I did not ask to be reimbursed for that. But I spent one night at a hotel, and I did reimburse for that hotel night. The other is Ben Verified, BV. Ben Verified is an internet subscription service that I use to track down landlords. Whether you live in Texas or Tahiti, I can find your phone number. I can call you. I can talk to you about the problems that we might be having with your house. It's a very good service, and I actually forget to reimburse for it about half the time. So last year, I bid about half the cost of that service out of just my pocket, but it's okay. It's still worth it. And then 2.5% of the money I did not spend. And I kind of feel bad about this one because I could have gotten it up to the community events. I could have gotten it to the employees and their efforts. And I really want to be able to get every dollar to your tax money into these categories to help out with things in the neighborhood. But I thought that the questions about how we spend that is fair. I thought you deserve to know. So happy Valentine's Day. I hope you love government transparency, and I hope you have a great day.